It's my this ball to make you shit. I don't want to get it with the crush face. I leave a man with the stuck face. Y'all can't wait anyways. City girls make a wish like Ray J. Let me talk to her. I just want to JT. Hellcat, this is SRT.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Curls Pop Naturally. It has been a little while and I'm so sorry about that. I have been working on something so crazy, so outside of something that I would normally do. If you follow me on social media, today we are going to be talking about my Cyclestar journey. I am officially a cycling instructor, super crazy. Never knew that 2020 would even bring about Curls Pop Naturally, the bonnets, this Cyclestar journey, but I'm just so blessed. And as you can see, I do have braids in, so for the next couple of weeks, we'll be hitting on some other things that fall under the lifestyle portion of Curls Pop Naturally. I have some skincare, I have some winter looks, some coats, just a lot of exciting things that's coming in the next couple weeks. Up until the beginning of the year, I'm going to be posting once a week just so that you all know the flow of things. But let's get into this Cyclestar journey. So I started at Cycle Bar in January of this year. So have not been there a really long time. Actually, Cycle Bar Murfreesboro just celebrated 1 year of being open as a studio in, I believe, September or October of this year. So it has not been long that they've been around. And one of my friends actually introduced me to Cycle Bar because I had been cycling at other places like Gold's Gym and the Mac here in Murfreesboro for quite some time, about 5 years. But I never thought in a million years that I would be in a situation where I would actually be teaching classes. I completely fell in love with Cycle Bar. It's the community. Everyone is so nice. All the instructors really care about the riders. I got to a point where with being in quarantine, like I looked forward to being there. Like I could not wait until 4:30 came around so that I can go and cycle after I get off work. So I knew at that point that I was a part of something that was bigger than myself. And it challenged me to actually be a better person because beginning of this year, I actually started, or at the end of last year, I actually started going to therapy on a consistent basis. I started with couples therapy, and then I moved into this year just one-on-one therapy with me and my therapist. And I have seen such a big change in myself. And for me at Cycle Bar, they only see the version of Ebony that has been transformed, that has been able to be my authentic self and be okay with that, and live a life that is fulfilling and that loves on people and that is kind. So I count it almost as a compliment and a blessing for people to come up to me and say, hey, Ebony, I think you would be a really good cycle star. You really have that potential. You have that great energy. You have what we would look for in a cycle star. And I was just like, that is really sweet, because if you would go back like 2 years ago, you would not have probably want to even be around me. So I just really thank and praise the Lord for deliverance and for seeing me through a time in my life that was so stressful, where I was trying to fit myself in a box that was not for me. And with Cycle Bar, I found a community of people that accepted me for me, that didn't think about the past me, or didn't think about, oh, well, is Ebony really a changed person, or is she gonna, revert back to her old ways? Like, they didn't know the Ebony that struggled with certain things. So they only see the best version of me and they love it. And so for me to get the courage to approach the lead instructor. I think I approached her like the end of the summer, maybe end of July, early August, just expressing my interest of being a Cyclestar. And she just told me, I would love to help train you. Let's go ahead and start in October, because I told her this is one of my 2021 goals, that I want to become a Cyclestar. I know it's going to take several months to get my body prepared and ready for this. So I'm ready to, you know, jump in there, get some training, get ready so that I can pass. So in order to be a Cyclestar, you have 2 rounds of interviews, and it is not up to the franchise owners who becomes a Cyclestar. It is up to the senior master instructors over the entire Cycle Bar brand. So you have a first round is you go to open auditions. And we had open auditions I think it was the middle of August. So that's open to anybody that's interested. You get the requirements of what you need to do, and they send you some videos so that you can see how the class should go, and how you should be teaching. So you have a 2-song audition, and then you have a 12-song audition that is you teaching an entire class. So for the 2-song audition, I did get some help from one of the instructors at Cycle Bar Murfreesboro. So I met with her about 3 times prior to me actually going to the audition and taping my audition to send off to corporate. I passed that interview, or I passed that round. It was 3 of us that passed of, I think, 18 people. So that was already kind of huge. So I was just like, wow, like this is crazy. So it's just kind of like, what's for you is for you, and nobody can take that away from you. So, of course, there was different people were at different levels, because as you know, if you are in the Murfreesboro area, there's actually 8 new instructors. So some people were already training, and they were a little bit further in the process than me. But as far as the people that showed up to the open auditions, it was actually 4 of us, but 1 person decided not to do it. So we went then into a boot camp, and that lasted about 3.5 weeks, where we were taught how to ride the classic ride of Cycle Bar. So each week we were demonstrated 3 songs, and then we have to come back the next week with our own playlist and how we would teach that ride. So there was 4 of those type of trainings, and then they just had a training also on just the fundamentals, the basics, how you should, prepare for your ride, the specifics of what each song has to be, RPMs, what type of choreography you can do. So it's very strict on how you have to run your class, because it's a brand. So somebody that comes and rides in Murfreesboro, Tennessee should be able to go and ride in Detroit and still have the same type of ride. They're very much on brand. So, of course, with it being me, I had to be the one that had the special situation. So, at the end of October, we all submitted our test out ride, 12-song test out ride, and we all found out if we were going to be Cyclestars or not. So all of these are my friends too. Like, we became friends, we've cycled together, and we went through boot camp together, and we're all excited, we're all on edge. And 6 of my friends passed, no restrictions. They're on the schedule, they're doing their thing. And me and another person, we got passed with conditions. So just imagine, like, you are so excited with all your girlfriends, and everybody's hype about getting ready to teach in November, and you're basically like waitlisted, and you kind of don't even know like where you're going to fall in the schedule. You don't know when you're going to start, because they've really never had to deal with anything like this. So I got my feedback from the senior master instructor, and it was 4 areas that I needed to work on before I can actually be on the schedule. So meanwhile, all of my friends are having their first rides and I am there rooting them on, front row, so excited for them because I feel like it's very important to cheer for people in their winning season and wait on your blessing. That's the only way that you're going to succeed in this world. You can't be a hater. Like, I'm so excited for them. Yes, I'm bummed because yes, I'm a Cyclestar just like they're a Cyclestar, but I have a little bit ways to go just simply because my biggest point of feedback was my stamina. I don't have a fitness background. I, just fell in love with Cycle Bar. I've rode 200 rides in like 5.5 months and I love it. And I passed and I still just need to work on being able to teach a class. Because when I tell you, riding a class and teaching a class is a whole different ball game. So what I've been doing as I've been riding all of my friends' first rides and still continuing to ride every day is practicing my 12 songs. Almost every night I go through it and I keep going, just trying to see what areas at what song am I starting to get tired so that I can get a little bit more creative in the things that I do to make sure that I'm able to last that whole 45 minutes while doing choreography and while talking. So it is a lot, but I'm built for this. God wouldn't have brought me to this point to just only get me to this point. So I already have 3 classes scheduled in December. I'm so excited about that. This whole journey has really brought out a different side of me, a side where it's, in this season, I've just been so blessed. And I have been saying to myself over and over and over, what God has for me is for me. Nobody can take that away from me. Because at the end of the day, I'm a Cyclestar. And the only person that is going to keep me from being on that podium is myself. I know exactly what I have to do to get on that podium. So if I decide not to do those things, that's the only reason that I won't be teaching in December. And I can guarantee you that that's not going to happen because this is something that I have wanted and I have worked for. I have gotten so close to it. So I'm excited. All 2 of the classes that I have on the books already have sold out. I have a dual ride coming up on December 19th with Corey. So definitely be waiting for that. Corey is a beast. He helped to train me. He sells out his classes every week. He's been such a mentor to me. He has Corey's Tribe where he teaches in Lebanon and he's just such a beast. And so I'm so excited. That'll also be my 250th ride. So I started at the end of January. My 250th ride, I'll actually be teaching it. Like, it's crazy to even think about the backstory of it. I had asked Addison in January, hey, do you think that we could use our joint account to help me pay for my membership at Cycle Bar? He's like, nope, because I wasn't consistent. Like, it would be a waste of money because I already had a membership at another gym for like $30 a month. So he was like, nope. And so I was like, fine, I'll use my allowance. I'll make it do what it do. So I decided to do that. And it was only to prove Addison wrong. That's why I started Cycle Bar, was to prove him wrong. And it's now escalated into me being the instructor. Like, if you can only imagine how competitive our household is just based off that fact, it is absolutely crazy. But I'm so excited about this journey. I'm excited if you're in Murfreesboro, if you come here during any holidays, hit me up. And I would love to see you in class because I'm going to get on that podium. I don't care what nobody says about it. So thank you so much for watching this. If you have any questions about cycling, any questions about your specific journey, if you're working towards something and you just need somebody to root you on, pray for you, let me know. Have a great week.